Hello, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back FIFA Street. It is returning in FIFA 2020. I wanted to make a video about what impact this video game series has had on my freestyle personally and how it could inspire a new generation of freestylers. It feels to me like freestyle is moving back into the mainstream again. Now it's not uncommon for a freestyler to reach 100,000, 500,000 or even 1 million followers on Instagram. Also, we have the Euro 2020 official mascot, Skillsy, is a freestyler, and on top of that, FIFA Street has returned. So it feels like we're moving into a new era where freestyle is becoming a bit more mainstream again. So the original FIFA Street came out in 2005, and this was a special time for freestyle in a way that it gave birth to freestyle as we know it today. Of course, there was freestyle before 2005, but after this period here, where we had FIFA Street, we had the rise of the internet. Believe it or not, the internet is not that old. And also we had Yoga Bonino, we had Ronaldinho, all of these things happening. Freestyle became very mainstream and very cool, and it exploded. It was a way to see new tricks. People like myself, I'd never seen anything more than an Around the World or a Next Door. So with all of these things, it introduced freestyle to a brand new generation. And a lot of the best freestyles you see today started around this time. So the original game came out in 2005 and was a breath of fresh air for football gaming. It was colourful, it was exciting, and it was different. The soundtrack was great, the environments were appealing, and it was all based on showing off and doing skills. It was nothing but a fun all-round game. You could play with your mates and you could spend a lot of time just rinsing each other on it, basically. And there was also this other game, Urban Freestyle Soccer, I think it was called, which I never played myself, but I've seen it in the shop. So it was like a new genre of video game. So the original FIFA Street game was definitely a success. Anything with Ronaldinho on the cover was hot property back then and would sell easily. He was just the flag bearer for this entire street culture. And I think a lot of us wanted a game like this for a very long time, as it heavily reminded me of the classic Nike advert from a few years before, the cage where you had 3v3, the best players in the world doing skill moves, pretty much exactly what this game was, but in a commercial form. FIFA Street was a success, and the sequel followed up a year later, FIFA Street 2. This was the game that I remember the most because I had just started freestyling, and also they actually had freestylers in the game as playable characters. For example, you could have Tuzani, Rafinho, Issy, and Ed Van Gils. They were all in the game, and you can even see some of them in the intro sequence to the game. I was obsessed with all of these guys at the time. I just discovered them, just started following their videos online, and to see them in the game was very cool, super cool. And they played a massive part in developing the game as well. You can actually see their freestyle tricks and skills. They did the body doubling, and they're easily recognizable in the intro sequences of all of the games, because before each game started, the players would pass the ball around for a quick freestyle session and you could recognize the tricks there. This was at a time where I was just starting freestyle, so me and my friends would be learning these tricks and we knew the names of them, and we'd spend all night playing the game, and then whenever we were outside, we'd be trying the tricks as well. So it was just a wicked game and a wicked time. There was even a freestyle training mode where you could perform tricks in order whilst juggling using the left and right analog sticks. So that was super cool to see. I'd be practicing freestyle on my PlayStation and also outside in my garden as well. If you've never played FIFA Street 2 before, I definitely recommend you try and find it and just give it a go, because if you love freestyle and you love video games, this is a super cool game to experience, to bring like the best footballers in the world like Ronaldinho, all these guys, and also the best freestylers at the time, all brought together in a game by EA Sports. Super cool, super special. But the thing is, with games like this, they don't have much longevity, and if you pump them out every year, then people will get bored. It's a specialist game which can only come out every once in a while. And in order to keep things fresh, they really changed up the Styler series in 2008 with FIFA Street 3, and that was what seemed like the nail in the coffin for the series. Right from the announcement of the game, you could see that the series had took a turn for the worse. EA decided to completely change it. They wanted to obviously freshen things up a bit, but it was definitely fatal. It turned into more of a cartoon game rather than an amplified version of street soccer and freestyle. I don't know what they were thinking with the game design. The players suddenly looked like avatars, and the environments were just bland and dull. All of the excitement got pulled out of the game, and I don't know why they put Gattuso and Peter Crouch on the cover. Whoever decided that got that horribly wrong, because those type of players, they don't represent what the FIFA Street series is about. On top of that, the gameplay was absolutely dreadful as well. all of the magic and the excitement of the gameplay, doing all the skill moves, it just got taken right out of the game. And you can see in these clips here, I don't even know how to describe what this is. This is not skill moves, this is just juggling a ball and trying to score. It was just terrible. So that game flopped, and then that was pretty much the end of the FIFA Street series for a very long time. The only time you saw a freestyle in a video game was in the actual FIFA games themselves. They put like tricks like Tuzani around the world, lemons around the world. In FIFA 11, I think, FIFA 10, around that time you could do those tricks, but that was it. It took 4 years until the next release of the FIFA Street series, and they just called it FIFA Street. This one had Messi on the cover, and if I had to describe it, it would be a mix between the second edition of the game and the third edition of the game. It seemed to have more of a futsal feel to it. Freestylers like Andrew Henderson were involved in the promotion and featured in the game, but they didn't bear the same resemblance as the freestylers did in the second game. Overall, this was a welcome return to the series, but it didn't set the world alight, and it wasn't as exciting as the first 2 games. And now, 7 years after the release of the last FIFA Street, we have the next installment, and it's called FIFA Volta. Now, this isn't actually a FIFA Street game, it's a game mode inside the upcoming FIFA 20. So it's not exactly FIFA Street, but when you look at the trailer, it just screams FIFA Street. It basically is FIFA Street 5. The last couple of years, it seems like a lot of people have wanted a return of the original FIFA Street series, the first 2 games, and it looks like EA have listened to that and they've brought it into the brand new FIFA 20. Now, it's difficult to tell how Freestyle will be involved in this game, as there's still a couple of months till it is released and there hasn't been a lot of information other than this trailer, but I'm positive that there have been freestylers involved in the production of it, so it will be interesting to see what impact this has. Whether it will be a success or not, time will tell, but it could inspire a new generation of freestylers like the first 2 games did with my generation. I've always been the opinion that anything like this, where football is used in a more creative way in the mainstream, it's always going to have a direct and positive effect on freestyle, so that's a good thing in my opinion. So that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have ever played FIFA Street, if it ever inspired you, and what you think of this new game mode inside FIFA 20, FIFA Volta. It's basically FIFA Street. Okay, so yeah, let me know, and I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts on this. And if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know, and of course subscribe. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.